The neon sign buzzed faintly in the sticky Chicago night air. Inside, the hum of a fluorescent light and the sharp clack of billiard balls echoed off cracked brick walls. Most nights, the place was empty after midnight, except for one man. Mark, the slick Fletcher, stood alone at table 5, chalking his cue with the obsessive focus of a surgeon before a delicate operation. 35 years old, wiry, clean-shaven, always in black. Mark had spent half his life in this place chasing one thing: perfection. He took aim, sank a bank shot, then lined up the next ball without hesitation. He didn't smile. Winning wasn't joy. It was survival. On the wall above him hung a black and white photo of an older man holding a cue stick, smirking confidently. It was the photo of Vincent the Whisper Malone, best who ever played. Mark glanced at the picture as he pocketed the 9 ball. "You weren't that good," he muttered. And then, click. The lights flickered. Mark turned. No one had entered. Then he heard it. A cough. Low, dry, familiar somehow. From the shadows near the vending machine stepped a tall, older man in a light gray suit, white shoes, and a fedora tilted low. His smile was crooked, eyes sharp like glass. He looked like someone who belonged in black and white. "You rang," the old man said. Mark gripped his cue. "You're Vincent Malone." "In the flesh," Vincent said, tapping a cigarette against the cue rack. "More or less." Mark blinked. "You've been dead for like 20 years. Only technically." Mark paced around the table, trying to figure if this was a prank, a hallucination, or maybe a dream. But Vincent Malone looked real. Too real. He didn't flicker. His reflection showed in the plate glass window. He even smelled faintly of gin and old smoke. "You're not real." "Suit yourself." Vincent leaned against the wall and lit the cigarette. "But you did summon me." Mark frowned. "I didn't." "You challenge a ghost every night, Mark. Talking to my picture, insulting my name, trying to prove you're better. That's the price of obsession. Sometimes the universe answers back." Mark stared, mouth dry. "If this is real, I want a match. One-on-one." Vincent's grin widened. "That's what I figured." He flickered his cigarette into the trash can without looking, then walked to the table and picked up a horse cue. "Straight pull, first to 500. Mark nodded. "Let's play." Vincent's expression changed. "You're sure, kid? This isn't just for bragging rights. You win, you become the greatest pool player ever. Every book, every tournament, every story, your name replaces mine." Mark's voice was firm. "And if I lose?" Vincent's eyes were cold. "Then you lose everything. No second chances. Just the end." Mark hesitated, then tightened his grip on the cue. "I've been ready for this my whole life." Vincent dragged the balls, then break. The first hour was brutal. Mark played with deadly efficiency. Angles, spins, controls, every shot like a bullet. But Vincent was something else. Fluid, relaxed, almost dancing between the felt and the cue. His trick shots weren't showy. They were inevitable. As the score ticked up, Mark 200, Vincent 240. The mood shifted. Mark began sweating, not from the heat, from the creepy awareness this wasn't just a game. You never missed, Mark whispered after a tight escape shot by Vincent. I missed plenty, Vincent replies, sinking 2 more balls in a perfect carol, but never when it mattered. Mark stared. That's impossible. Vincent chopped his cue, eyes sparkling. No, kid, that's greatness. You've chased it, outlived it. Mark's next shot rattled out, missed. Vincent took over, calm and ruthless. Mark slammed his cue. How did you get this good? I made peace with what I wasn't, Vincent said. You think greatness is about perfection? It's not. It's about knowing the one shot that has to go in, and making sure it does. At 460 to 390, Vincent let Mark shoot again. Mark narrowed his eyes. You couldn't have finished me. Vincent stepped back. I want to see your best. Mark locked in. Shot after shot fell. 400, 420, 440. At 495 to 460, the final 5 balls gleamed like jewels. He lined up the 3 ball, then the 4. 1 left, the 8 ball near the corner. Mark breathed in. This is it. He drew the cue back, flicked forward. The 8 ball rolled, paused, hung upon the lip, then dropped. Silence. Mark looked up. Vincent stood motionless, unreadable. I won, Mark whispered. I won. Then Vincent smiled. Sad, proud, distant. Congratulations, he said. You're the greatest. Mark grinned, laughed, dropped the cue, and held out his arms. I knew it. I knew it. But then Vincent walked out the door. Wait, Mark said, confused. Where are you going? Vincent opened the door, revealing a hallway. Not to the street, but a long tunnel lined with old pool tables and faded lights. You wanted the title? Vincent said. Now it's yours. Mark stepped back. What? What does that mean? You'll play forever, Vincent said. No crowd, no glory. Just you. And anyone who dares to call you out. Just like you did to me. Mark stared at the fading city outside. But I didn't ask you this. You did, Vincent said gently. You just didn't understand the rules. The room grew colder. The neon light buzzed into silence. Vincent vanished, and Mark found himself alone, truly alone. Years passed, or maybe moments. Time didn't work the same in Q City anymore. Sometimes, challengers came. A teenage hustler, an old pro, a woman with fire in her eyes, and Mark would play. He always won, because he had to, because that was the deal. But each win felt emptier. There was no joy, no applause, just the endless clicking of cue balls and the whisper of a man's name that no longer meant anything to the world above. Some say, late at night, if the lights flicker just right and the air smells faintly of a chalk and gin, you can hear the soft walk of a cue ball in Q City. And if you're really good, truly good, you might see a figure in black waiting by table 5. But beware, because Mark Fletcher doesn't play for money. He plays for everything. If you enjoyed the video, like and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.